I don't know if you know who Brandon Herrera is, but he's
He's a suave political YouTube man.
halfway correct. He is definitely suave, but he is a gun tuber, believe it or not.
Oh, I think I've seen him somewhere like in a court.
I remember. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, because I remember him
Yeah.
wearing that suit there. Yeah.
Yep. Testify against ATF. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So
So
what's going on
yeah,
here?
yeah. So Brandon, handsome man, Tony, Schmiegel. Uh,
Tony
so,
Gonzalez, yes.
yeah. So Tony was having a affair
Okay.
with one of his staff,
Okay.
and
Who is Tony? What does he do?
he is the District 12 congressman of Texas.
Oh boy. Okay.
And Brandon is running against him. This is his second time of doing so.
Okay.
He wasn't planning on going again, because as you would hear him say later in the video, is that after the race, they both sat down and Tony was like, "I hear you, I understand." Because the big thing that boils down to it is that Brandon is running against Tony because Tony is running as a conservative Republican,
Mm-hmm.
but his voting record is anything but.
Oh, he's a rhino.
So he's a rhino. So and that's the issue that Brandon has with him. So, and Brandon sat down with him and he was like, these are the issues that we have. And Tony was like, I hear you, I understand things are going to be different.
Uh huh.
Well, turns out things are going to be more the same.
Yep.
Well, so he has been Tony is a family man. He prides himself as a family man. That's how he runs his races. He's a married man with 6 kids,
Uh huh.
and he was having an affair with one of his staff members, who is a married
Ooh.
woman with a boy, one boy. And somewhere, not that long ago, but somewhere in between the affair, she saw no way out of it, apparently, and committed suicide by
Whoa.
self-immolation.
Excuse me? Really?
That was, yep,
Wow. That's okay. So,
horrid. Yes.
well, yeah, like wow.
Yeah. So, and at first there wasn't any real definitive proof. There's no proof of an affair,
Mhm.
but Brennan has talked to the husband of the woman,
Mhm.
and he has pulled the phone records,
Oh
text
boy.
messages,
Yeah.
and the things he asks a married woman.
The things he asks, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So now his entire like platform, like the way he runs and gets votes is ruined because he's like family man. Conservatives love a family man, and he's cheated and broken up his family.
Well,
He's betrayed the family.
so far, he's betrayed the family, but so far, his wife is staying loyal, and he has been on the attack against the husband and son. And son is like a minor.
Tony Gonzalez has been on the attack against the husband of the woman he cheated with.
Yes.
Wow. How? Why? Okay.
Calling it smearing, blackmail,
Uh.
defaming.
It's not defaming if
Usual.
it's true.
I know.
All right. Interesting.
I don't think Tony knows that.
We're just throwing out buzzwords. We're just throwing out buzzwords. Okay. Well,
Hey, it's 2026, man. That's what you do. You hope something sticks.
say the line. Yeah.
Say the line. Do the roar. But anyways.
Anyway, let's learn about Tony Baloney.
This is not a video I ever expected to make. And I
You know how many times I've heard that?
A lot.
A lot.
It's YouTube.
take no joy
A
in
lot of
it.
people say YouTube.
My plan this cycle has been to continue to tell the truth about Congressman Tony Gonzalez and his voting record.
Tony.
How he continues to vote against the Constitution during his time in office. However, in the last few days, the case that I'm about to discuss has become the subject of national debate. And so I feel like I have an obligation to provide the most accurate details possible. I would have never expected in a million years to have to tell the story that I'm about to tell nor would I ever consider it appropriate if this were mere conjecture. But at this point, these are no longer allegations. This has now been proven beyond a shadow
Which
of
is
a
a big
doubt
thing
to
to
be
say.
true, and the
Wait a second.
truth must be told.
I'm gonna
This
go
has now been
back. Okay. So this is so nothing is alleged anymore. So it's all definitive proof, huh?
Yes. With the text messages being pulled, the
Yep.
affair is now confirmed.
Send
Which
me
he has
a
been denied.
sexy pic.
Yeah.
Really? That
Yeah.
how uncreative and like NPC-ish is that? There's like
Oh,
there's like no foreplay. There's no fun there. Send me a sexy pic.
it gets worse.
Like dude
I
does.
can't wait for you to hear it.
Dude has
There's
no. He has no game. Okay, what?
There's one question that Tony asks the now deceased woman. I can't wait for you to hear it because you're gonna fucking have a conniption. I bet.
Oh my gosh! I'm just like, how does this get any woman in the send me a sexy pic? That's so bad. That's so horrible. Oh.
I mean, they be fucking.
Golly.
proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to be true, and the truth must be told. The voters have a right to know. And that is
Amen.
why, for the sake of the district, the party, and the country, Tony Gonzalez should step down. I'll start from the beginning. Regina Santos Aviles was a regional director for Texas 23rd Congressional District, Congressman Tony Gonzalez. She was originally from Uvalde and had served prior running the Uvalde Chamber of Commerce. From everyone that I've spoken to and from every account that I've been able to find, she was beloved by the community, took great pride in her work. She joined Tony's staff in November of 2021 and dedicated the rest of her life to serving the district, including her hometown of Uvalde, with various issues that the district was facing. But on September 13th, 2025, first responders were called to her home after an alleged suicide via self-immolation, where she was declared dead the next day from her injuries. She left behind her husband and an 8-year-old son. Several days after the fact, when asked,
How you cheating on this with
Tony?
with Tony
I know.
Gonzalez?
Like, that is a stud of a man.
This is a
I'm so
handsome
honest.
man.
I don't swing that way, but that dude, he's pretty
This
attractive.
dude's jacked. He
I
goes
will
to the
not
gym.
lie.
Look at his quads. Look at his forearms. Like what is not to like about this man? I don't get it.
I don't either.
Well,
I don't.
appearances anyway. I mean, unless this guy was just like crummy in every other way, but I doubt it.
I
behind
mean,
her
he's having a
husband.
good father-son moment.
Yeah, look at that thing.
You know?
Like they're doing the Hawaii thing with their yeah.
and an 8-year-old
He seems like a
son.
chill dad.
Several days after the fact, when asked, Tony said that he was, quote, heart-stricken at the news of her passing. He did not attend the funeral. Immediately after, a multitude of media
That's
sources,
fucked.
such as Current Revolt, asked a number of questions, including whether or not Tony and Regina were involved in a romantic relationship. Tony Gonzalez's office responded to every inquiry except the latter.
Okay, I gotta read this whole thing. Why would you have any bearing at all on what is or is not done at someone's funeral? Why would you say that as like a person's employer, basically? You're their employer. Why would you say, like, we ask, you make a request, we request of you that you highlight all of her positive contributions and impact?
I don't know, man.
What? You don't have any bearing or anything over someone's funeral as an employer. That's so strange.
Yeah, but with her working closely, like not even thinking about the affair.
Yeah.
You know, she worked closely with him, and her passing, and you not attend the funeral to like show support to the family.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You also say you're what, heart stricken? Yeah, heart stricken, and you don't go to the funeral.
Yeah. I mean, to me, him not showing up, to me, is a form of admittance, because you can't go and look the husband and son in the eye when you
Yup.
when you did what you did.
Exactly. He did not attend the funeral. I wonder why he did not attend the funeral. Where's... I, mean, I don't know. Maybe Tony's wife didn't want him to attend the funeral. You know?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
All records were then sealed by Uvalde PD, from the police reports to the autopsy to any mention of Regina and Tony. This fed speculation, and multiple publications started reporting on the alleged affair between Tony and Regina. This would be a bombshell, as Tony is a married man with 6 children and often uses his appearance as a family man for his public image. It would also be completely against house ethics rules, subject to an investigation and penalties. Tony, of course, avoided any public scrutiny, including running away from multiple reporters.
Multiple media outlets have reported that you had an affair with Regina Gonzalez. Is there any response you have to that?
We're here at Fort Sam. We're here at Fort Sam Unit. That's the ceremony. Please have some respect.
I understand, but veterans fought for my right to ask you questions.
Hey, how are you doing?
He also canceled all media appearances and banned journalists and reporters from any of his future events. All of this came to a head a few months.
That kind of goes along with lines like the more you try to hide the truth, the more people try to dig into it.
Later, where for the first time, after no hard evidence had come out, Tony officially denied the affair.
The rumors are completely untruthful. I also say it's like, I don't know exactly what happened.
Which, as we will soon find out, was a complete bold-faced lie. But at this point, with no concrete evidence and an official denial of the affair, the story more or less died for a couple of months. That was at least until early February, where a former Tony staffer from Uvalde who worked hand in hand with Regina for 2 years for the congressman decided to risk potential repercussions and come forward. Not only did he have his personal account of Regina telling about the affair with Tony, but he also brought forward screenshots of Regina admitting to the affair, specifically texting the staffer, and I quote, "I had an affair with our boss." Obviously referencing Tony. And I quote,
whoa now. Okay, let's get into these chat bubbles here. Yeah, because it sounded like this guy cheated on whoever the heck he's with, and maybe that got around. But he just wasn't saying anything about it or answering anything about it, and she's like, "You'll be fine because I'm fine because I've also cheated."
The staffer, and I quote, "I had an affair with our boss." Obviously referencing Tony. He even told about the facilitation of his family cabin for Tony, which he only later found out was used for extramarital activities. After this news started to break, Tony found out
go back and read that little thing real quick.
Was used for extramarital activities. After this news started to break, Tony continued to double down and deny any wrongdoing, despite for the first time, material evidence is starting to come forward. Now, at this point in the story is where, unfortunately, I get involved. In Tony's denial, he blamed me for his actions, saying it was my fault that a, quote, disgruntled former staffer was given a voice and that he wouldn't engage in personal smears. Which is rich, considering the same person who is now condemning personal smears ran an entire campaign last cycle personally smearing me.
Bob Good endorsed my opponent, a known neo-Nazi. These people used to walk around with white hoods at night. Now they're walking around with white hoods in the daytime.
But what I find most interesting is that now faced with...
What? So this guy, a conservative representative, went on CNN, which is the opposite of conservative, to blast his political opponent.
Yeah, he called Brandon a known neo-Nazi. Known to who? Schizo.
Also, what is he talking about? These guys used to walk around with white hoods at night. Now they're walking around with white hoods during the day. Who the heck is walking around in a Klan hood?
Tony, apparently not Tony. Brandon is apparently, according to Tony.
No one's doing this. Come on.
Proof.
Yeah.
He condemns me and the staffer who came forward with evidence while refusing to deny the claims that have been made. And now, the bombshell. In the last week, Regina's husband has stepped forward. Not only was he personally willing to confirm the affair, but he went on to go and tell his side of the story that he was keeping private out of concerns for his son. Which is completely understandable, but now with the evidence that is coming forward from former staffers, he stepped forward to set the record straight. He also came forward with text messages from Regina's phone, confirmed by forensic software, showing that not only was Tony involved in a sexual relationship with Regina, forensic software.
Okay, what? Too far, boss. Pressed female staffer for sexy pic. Right. Okay, so you had to pay a third party to get this data. You can't just ask your cell provider?
I thought you could.
Says he paid Exhibit A Computer Forensics to retrieve the data.
Was fucking AT&T not willing to hand over the information?
Maybe
What?
not. You know, political opponents and all that. I don't know. Share
I
with
mean,
the
if it's a
news.
family plan, you should be able to go like, yeah, I went to pull the records
Yeah, I
of
know.
a plan that I'm paying for.
All right. 34 texts sent between 12:15 a.m. and 1:09 a.m. That's a lot of texting for less than an hour at that time of night.
Mm-hmm.
He had withheld other texts because they were even more graphic, and he did not want his son to see them. Oh, boy. Okay.
Described as
showing
sexually
that not only was
grotesque.
Tony involved in a sexual relationship with Regina, but that he pressured her into it from a position of power, with her even mentioning several times that he was going too far, and even at one point asking if he was sober. These are only a handful of texts that have been put forward of what I'm told are thousands of texts between Regina and Tony. Keep in mind, this is a married congressman with 6 children talking to a married female subordinate. From Tony to Regina. Then send me a sexy pic. Regina says, I swear my life has been a telenovela for the past 7 days. You really don't want a hot picture of me. Tony says, yes, I do. Hurry. She asks, is this a test?
Hurry.
Later she says, no, I just don't like taking pictures of myself, to which he replies, I'm just such a visual person. He then goes on to ask her favorite position.
Whoa.
She asks, yours first, and then goes on to ask, so is this why you're quiet around me sometimes, because you think I'm hot? He responds to this by saying, on top, pinning your legs. To which she then pumps the brakes and says, this is going too far, boss. So how long have you thought I was this hot? He says, what do you like? And then answers, since you worked at the Chamber of Commerce in Uvalde. And then following up on that, reminder, this is a married congressman to a married subordinate. He asks, anal? It's your advice.
Oh my god.
There it is. There it is.
Oh gosh, the smooth criminal, man. Send me sexy pic. Anal?
Hey. Anal?
Oh my god.
the audacity of this man.
Oh no. Oh, this is like pulling a horse-drawn carriage on a gravel road. This is so bumpy.
How he had any headway in wooing this woman is beyond me.
Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. Okay.
That was a rough one, eh?
He follows up with a description of a sex act. Never, she responds. And then she says, this is too far, Tony.
Never. The texts then from this point lead to them arranging to meet up at the cabin. That then gets picked up by the story that the other former staffer had told, where he unwittingly set up an extramarital affair between his boss and his friend. These texts and the confirmation of a long-denied affair have sparked national outcry. Local state rep Wes Verdell has called for Tony to step down, while members of Congress have either asked for him to suspend his campaign or even outright resignation. And over the last few days, their complaints have made nationwide news, including reaching the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Mr. Speaker, why should Tony Gonzalez resign, given these very serious accusations?
There are serious accusations, and it must be taken seriously, and I've told him he's got to address that with his constituents.
It has also come out that the House Ethics Committee has launched its own investigation. At this point, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Tony Gonzalez is guilty of an extramarital affair and lying to his family, the press, and the people. Of abusing a
Some
position as a
people
member of
theorize that this is heavily alleged. There's no evidence on this, but people have begun to theorize that he had a hand in her death, that it wasn't suicide.
That Tony had a hand in her death?
Yeah. Whether it was, getting someone else to do it or him being directly involved, I don't know. But, people are just theorizing that her burning herself alive
Mm-hmm.
is a odd choice of suicide.
It is a very odd choice of suicide. I will say that. Yeah. I don't know the conditions in which she was found or anything like that. You know, I don't know what the scene report was, or where she did it. Was it inside her own house, or where did she burn at? After setting herself on fire in her backyard.
Backyard?
Yeah. This article says she told first responders she did it because she had discovered her estranged husband was romantically involved with her best friend. Newly disclosed records show.
Was there any evidence of
Newly
that?
disclosed records, eh? This was published February 23rd. Documents show that police received a 911 call from the Santos Avila's home, and that she could be heard screaming in pain, "Please send help, it hurts so bad." So I guess she put herself out. If this is what was in the records, then she must have put herself out and then called 911. It says, when the dispatcher asked for her address, she cried out, "Oh my God, I don't want to die." Who, according to a detective who listened to a recording of the call, 5 police officers, 4 firefighters, and EMS responded. Video footage retrieved from a home security system shows her pouring gasoline all over her body and setting herself aflame with a handheld lighter. So now we have video. Now we have a record of she's the one that made the call. So she would have had to have put herself out somehow. Let's see. Santo then rolled on the ground in an effort to smother the flames and crawled to a faucet, turned it on, and poured water on herself. Oh.
Oh my God. This is horrid.
She told the officers that she discovered her husband was cheating on her with her best friend, and as a result, she poured gasoline on herself and set herself on fire, according to an incident report by one of the first officers on the scene.
Okay, two things. A, did she actually find out, or was this all speculation on her end? Because we don't have evidence on his part. And B, if it was true, the audacity of her to freak out about that when she also cheated.
She
not trying to speak ill to dead, but
she cheated and was probably still cheating at the time. I'm assuming, or did she cut that out after it was? Because the affair was discovered, it said, in 2024 by the husband after it had been happening for a month, and they separated.
So wait, if they were separated, then why is she freaking the fuck out?
I don't know. Because it even says here, this is the second article that says that they were separated now. But it says, before her suicide, she went to a restaurant with friends, and the friends commiserated with her over the breakup of her marriage. The two had separated several months earlier and were sharing parenting responsibilities for their 8-year-old son.
Now, separation doesn't mean divorce. I didn't see divorce anywhere.
No. No one has said divorce. They did not divorce. The other article that I read that said they were separated specifically said they did not divorce. They were still married to each other. They just weren't living in the same house anymore.
I can't get over the audacity of.
Yeah,
that's so hypocritical.
I guess maybe because it says here, it says one of the friends said she was pretty sad and was saying she wanted her family back. So the logic that I can think of is if she discovered that her still husband was in a relationship with somebody else now, then it's like, oh, it's over. I'm not getting my family back. I might as well end it.
I guess. But it's still self-inflicted.
Oh, here, look at this. Before lighting herself on fire, she texted a friend of her husband to tell him what she was about to do.
Oh, jeez.
The text referred to Aviles by his nickname. So I guess her husband. Tell Baller I'm setting myself on fire right now, so have fun raising our son. And followed up by sending the friend a 5-second video quote, showing Regina pouring gasoline on herself. This is a bit, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but this is a bit like narcissistic, don't you think?
Very much so, yes. Funny enough is that no video that I have watched covering this have ever brought any of this bit up. So this is all new information to me.
This article is well, today will be 5 days old on
Jeez.
Express News. And I think Express News is the outlet that the husband said in the video that the husband divulged the affair to. But yeah, if there's all these text messages and stuff now. So she sent an attention-seeking text and then an attention-seeking video of her pouring gas on herself. And he forwarded the text to the husband, who is in San Antonio watching a martial arts tournament or event. The friend told police that the husband responded by telling him his wife's mom was on her way to the house. He told a police detective who interviewed him on the day his wife died that she had previously made self-harm threats and was in the habit of taking antidepressants, drinking alcohol, and sometimes mixing the two. Incident in August when he said she contacted him while pointing a firearm at her own head. What? Their son could be heard screaming in the background, and police were dispatched to the home. The responding officer found no indication that she intended to harm herself and that the only gun in the house was a BB gun. So the guy that she sent the gasoline video to is Alfred Garza. He told police he'd known her for years and that she had a history of making threats toward herself, but did not follow through, so they did not believe she would harm herself. Men identified as Joshua Garza, who said he had known her for more than 20 years, said there were signs of mental instability throughout the years. Searched her car, found a bottle labeled D-amphetamine salt combo, the chemical name for Adderall. Video recovered from the security system at the house shows that she acted methodically in setting herself on fire. She is seen in her backyard holding a phone in one hand and a gasoline canister in the other. She pours gas on herself, then pulls a lighter from her right pocket, ignites it, and moves it from her right shoulder to her right foot, and then back to her right hip. She is then seen putting the lighter back in her pocket, pouring more gasoline on herself,
Oh my god.
and running the lighter over her body again in the same way. She manages to put the fire out by rolling on the ground and training a garden hose on herself. She then walked through her house, leaving a trail of blood and burnt skin in her bedroom and hallways. First responders found her on the porch. We're nearly done with the Brendan Herrera video. We'll get back to it.
Congress for sexual misconduct and wrecking a home to the degree that a young woman is now dead. Up to this point, my campaign against Tony has been relying solely upon the issues, problem that I have and his voters have with his voting record. But this goes beyond that now. It is now irrefutable that Tony Gonzalez is a wicked man and must be removed. Now, next week on March 3rd, voters will have the opportunity to have their voices heard. But as we've seen, this goes far beyond politics. While Tony might rightfully lose his job, a husband and son are still grieving a wife and mother. So right now, while I have your attention, I'd like to ask you to help me help the family that Regina left behind. In the past few days, I've had the privilege of speaking with Regina's husband, and with his permission, we've set up a GoFundMe to help with the family and specifically to set something aside for the son. He seems like a great kid with a promising future, and we'd like to help them with that as much as possible. And Tony's made it clear he's not only not going to help the family, but instead he's going to go on the offensive and attack them. So anything our community can do would be greatly appreciated, I'm sure. So there's no sponsor in this video, there's no asks, nothing other than please help us to help a young boy face a future without his mother. And lastly, to Ernest Anthony Tony Gonzalez. Hasn't this gone far enough for you? When this all started, my only qualms with you were your voting record. 2 years ago, when I lost that election, we sat down like men. You shook my hand, you looked me in the eyes, and you promised me things would be different. I was genuinely horrified to find out what kind of man I shook hands with that day. And unlike the smears you've done on me, you'll find that nothing I've said in this video was taken out of context. These are simply your words and your actions. This is your last chance to be a man and take some accountability. Step down. For the sake of the country, for the sake of Texas, for the sake of common decency. Step down.
Well, you think old Tony's gonna step down?
No, I think his pride prevents him from doing so, to be honest.
I mean, I think so too. I mean, if he's trying to say that the husband is lying or trying to blackmail him, or now he's like saying, oh, the husband's trying to like profiteer off of the death of his wife, all this kind of stuff. Like, how old is this video? 3 days ago. Yeah, I don't think so. If the vote happens on March 3rd, it doesn't seem like he's standing down.
I think minimum he should, not run anymore. I think he should step down from that. At the bare minimum.
Yeah. Whew. That was a rough one. That was one to end on.
Editor's note. The actual race has gone on to a runoff. With Brendan Herrera in the lead by what I saw 43% and Tony at 41. Still very close, but so far is looking a whole lot better for Brendan than it is for Tony. So praying Brandon wins.